Hi YouTube, it's Nox here. Here we are again on an Earthquake 3D. It's 12:37 GMT on the 21st of October 2012. It's been a little while since I did an earthquake update, but I'm just putting this one out just to follow on from the last video, and also just to update you on some interesting activity over the last couple of days. Right, as I said, here we are on Earthquake 3D. I've got the age down to 1 day and the magnitude down to 0. So basically, it's going to show all the earthquakes basically in the last 24 hours. Let me just have a look where we're up to. You can see there's been quite a few earthquakes, but the one I'm really interested in is this one in Iceland. In fact, there was 2 listed that is showing on here from Iceland. There's been a lot more, but it's only showing the 2 because there isn't exact data sharing between USGS and the EMSC. But we'll go into that in more depth in a minute. We've got a 4.8 and a 5.7 listed here, and that is a really large earthquake for the area, for Iceland. It's linked to the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, as we all know by now. And I've been watching this Iceland for quite some time, and believe me, this is one of the biggest quakes I've seen there for quite some time. There's sometimes some sizable earthquakes on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, 4s, 5s, but Iceland, this 5.7 Iceland, that is quite big. And it happened, incidentally, at the same time as we had a 6.6 in Vanuatu, and that was downgraded to a 6.2, but let me show you that one. There we have it. There's the 6.2 now listed in Vanuatu, and obviously that's quite an active area anyway, being on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Yeah, basically we're having a bit of a swarm here in Iceland, and it's something that we need to keep an eye on. Just quickly point out the one in California that happened again roughly at the same time. We had, I think it was a 5.4 in California. Okay, not massive, but big enough to take note. No, sorry, it was a 5.3. There we go, there's a little mini swarm there forming in California, you can see, and there's a 5.3 listed. So let's just jump over to another page I want to show you. Here's the EMSC, and you can see here the little swarm. In fact, we just had another one pop off in Iceland, just a 3.5, still in purple there, and that popped off 5 minutes ago, just there, 6 minutes ago now, just changed, 3.5, and there was another one, 3.7, so Iceland is still very active, and you can see all the quakes listed down here for Iceland. There's quite a lot of them. In fact, let's just link onto the Iceland, specifically the Iceland part, and you can see all the earthquakes that's taking place there. But bear in mind, 3.3 and plus in Iceland is okay. It's not unusual, but it's not exactly the most common thing in the world. But you usually see one pop off every 2, maybe 3 weeks or so. But here we have, since the this is a 5.2 on here. USGS has got it as 5.7. So a little swarm before that happened. So 4.8, 4.5, 3.8, 4.1. and some yesterday as well. These are all today. 3.7, 3.9, 5.2, 3.5, 3.5. As you can see, there's been a lot, and they're still ongoing. So let me just go over to Iceland's site now. This is nvida.is. It's basically Iceland's own website, and you can see these in stars here, all 3+ earthquakes. It's been a real swarm of them going on there, and we just have a look at this little graph down here. This shows us, you can see the 5.2, and this shows us the sheer number of earthquakes. These are all 0 and above, and you can see there must be hundreds there, must be 100 plus. I'll just quickly, I've not refreshed this for a little while, so let's refresh if anything new has popped on. And yeah, you can see this swarm activity is still ongoing. Those in red are all very recent quakes. They are between 0 and 4 hours old. I'm going to pop over onto another little bit of information for you now. I'm going to go over to somebody called John Freeman. He does a geology blog, and he specialises in Iceland, and you can get quite a lot of information from this blog, because he covers all the volcanoes, being that there's quite a lot of them, the fracture zones and the whole area. So I'll just read you a little bit of his information he's put out on this swarm as it started. The swarm is actually taking place on somewhere called the Tjorn's Fracture Zone, TFZ for short. and these basically blogged at 0207 UTC. Earthquake activity did start in TFC, just off the coast of Iceland. This earthquake activity is taking place in an area that last had earthquakes from in September. I did cover the earthquake activity in details on this blog. So far, the largest earthquakes this area of TFC have been in magnitude 2.9. This is purely tectonic earthquake activity. Well, that was at the time of his blog, which I think, it doesn't really date the blogs, but I think it was yesterday. Doesn't say there. Usually it says underneath, unless it shows up here. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, it was yesterday. It was posted on the 20th, so that was yesterday. So that's basically the early hours of the TFC swarm starting up. And he does go into some detail about the specific volcanoes, and he has his own geophones with seismometers on the island as well, and you can actually download and get the latest data from that. They are subject to a few errors, as they're not reviewed by seismologists, but you can get a good idea of what's going on in Iceland from those. Okay, and his latest blog today was posted on the 21st. That's obviously today. And he says, at the moment there is heavy earthquake activity taking place in TFZ, with earthquakes taking place every second. Strong earthquakes taking place every 2 to 10 minutes. One earthquake has reached the magnitude 5.0, and more earthquake with that magnitude is currently taking place on TFZ. This earthquake activity can be monitored live on his geophone network, which you can get a link to there. I'll put all these links down below, by the way. According to the USGS, the largest earthquake had the magnitude of 4.8. I do not know if this is reviewed data or not. USG data can be reviewed here. So quickly back over to Earthquake 3D, and I can finish this off. Keep an eye on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, and Iceland in particular. There may be another big one due to go there. As I said, it's all stemming from a few weeks ago when I did my last update. Pressure from Antarctica pushing the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, well, not just the Mid-Atlantic Ridge but all over the Earth, but it will travel all the way up the Mid-Atlantic Ridge up to Iceland and to the North Pole. We've talked about this little swarm here. I actually suggested that we would have a biggish earthquake in Venezuela. Well, we've had a small one to date in the high 4s to 5s. Nothing more than that yet, but I still think there'll be a big one in Venezuela, so watch for that. Also, the rest of the Earth, again, the usual places to watch, the most active places: Ring of Fire, around this area, New Zealand, Vanuatu, all that area there, west coast of South America, west coast of North America, Alaska, and basically keep your eyes open, guys, and feel free to comment and post on this video. Okay, that's me done for now. Bye.